designed for individuals and families experiencing homelessness, and we got to sing to the kids who lived there. We took stops to Disneyland, Torrey Pines, and other really cool spots along the way. Overall, it was a really fantastic trip and is one of my favorite youth trips I've ever been on. We woke up the morning of our flight home and all was good. We stopped at the beach one last time and then made our way to the airport. Once we were walking to our gate to head home, we could all take a sigh of relief that we would be in our beds later that night thinking about how much fun we just had together. That was until our flight was canceled. No biggie, we all knew we were in great hands, and yes, ultimately God, but in that moment, Kevin was the one with the itinerary. The airport was able to get us a hotel for the night. The next morning, we woke up and got a 7 a.m. flight to Salt Lake City, Utah. All was looking well, and our connecting flight would be there in just 4 hours. Allie, Roland, Caroline, Maggie, Cole, Bennett, Brennan, and I, as well as the adults, were daydreaming about the clean set of clothes and nice shower we would have in just a couple of hours. Those daydreams were quickly shattered when we found out our flight had been canceled yet again. With nowhere else to go, we had to spend the night in the terminal. I think we could all collectively agree that we were exhausted, achy, and ready to be anywhere but the airport. But instead of groaning around for the next 24 hours, we made the most of it. Maggie, Bennett, and I built a peacock made from Legos. Allie, Caroline, Roland walked up and down the terminal a few times. Brennan was able to relax and put on a movie. And then there was my brother Cole, with Auntie Anne's churro bites in hand, saddling his suitcase, rolling around the Salt Lake City airport to keep himself entertained. Hours had passed by this point, and it was nearly 10 p.m. We had run out of things to do and conversations to have. With the 30 hours we had before this, I was able to come up with an emergency game to play that night in the event that we had nothing better to do. For the next hour and a half, we competed for the title of First Class King or Queen. The games included suitcase relay Cole style, passport selfies where we would attempt to take pictures with 3 different airline staff, airline trivia, and many more. Allie Toddy was able to claim victory as she usually did in every single game we played. This ended up being a huge highlight of the trip and some of the most fun we've ever had with each other as a group. Seeing everyone having a good time put a smile on all of our faces. The next morning, we got on a flight to Dallas, Texas, and from there, the moment everyone was waiting for had finally come. Our plane touched the smooth gray concrete of the Memphis International Airport. Home at last. I think this story does a good job of summing up just how close we are as a group, but it's more than just a fun memory. It's a reminder that the people around us don't just make moments better, they actually shape who we become. There's a quote I've had in the back of my mind for a couple of years when I'm thinking about how I'm finding my identity through God. It's from Michelangelo in response to a question about how he made the famous marble sculpture David. It's simple. I just remove everything that is not David. But whether Michelangelo ever actually said this or not, I still think it's something meaningful to live by. Not by adding more and more, but by removing what doesn't belong until you see what was there the whole time. I really believe that's what God has been doing in my life, especially through this group. There are so many people here that I probably would have never talked to at school, whether it be different grades, different friend groups, just people I wouldn't naturally cross paths with. But being here, being put in the same spaces, the same trips, the same random situations, and even the same airport nightmares, it kind of chips away at that. I can't think of a time in recent years where I've had to pretend to be someone I'm not in order to impress this group. That's how I know I'm surrounded by the right people. And I don't think that just happened by accident. I think that's what it looks like when God places the right people in your life. Not to change who you are, but to help you become more of who you're supposed to be. For the longest time, I thought I had read the book, He Is Still Writing. At 17 years old, I now realize I only read the first few pages. He's still shaping my story through the people in my life, through the moments I didn't expect, and even through the ones I didn't understand at the time. So as much as I'd like it to be true, maybe your job isn't to have everything figured out, but to trust that the author knows exactly what he's doing. Thank you.
everyone. My name's Caroline Little, and I'm a freshman at Carterville High School. I've gone to Emmanuel since I was born, and I'm grateful to be sharing today. Our world is full of stories, and stories matter so much to us because they give insight on who we are and where we're going. All our stories matter because they've all shaped us into the people we are today. But throughout it all, we have to remember God is the author and creator of all our stories. He is a source of excitement and joy we get to experience throughout our lives. He is the reason we feel loved by one another and get brought together. He knows exactly what we need. However, that is not to say we won't face lows that come with the highs. We have to be able to trust that God's plan is right and that it was perfectly made by Him. And even though we go through things that aren't easy to face in the moment, God is with us all the time, fueling us to live and be examples of His children in our world. If you don't mind, I'd like to share a little bit about my story. One thing that really shaped my faith was ASP. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life, because not only did I get to have so much fun with people that I love, I got to serve while doing it. We would get to meet these wonderful families and get to do hands-on work and just spend time together. On the trip, not everything was perfect though. We faced challenges throughout the project for sure. But that just means once the job was completed, we were even more invested and proud of it. This trip not only helped me on my faith journey, but grew my relationship with so many people. Rather it was my friends in the youth group, my chaperones Karen and Jeff, or even a goat. The family we were working with had this big grassy area where their goats could run around and play. But there was this one baby goat that had to be separated because the other goats would bully her. Her name was Sheba, and throughout the week we became best friends. I almost even got to take her home, but we figured a 9-hour van ride with a goat might not go so well. Sheba was so sweet, and I really did love her a lot, but if it weren't for God's plan, I never would have met her. Like I mentioned, we got to work and have fun on the site, but we also had a base. It was a school that the community was working on rebuilding from a flood. There were so many churches with so many members there, all serving and giving service to those who need it. And it truly was one of the most amazing experiences because you would look up and there was this community of people from all over the United States joined together through Christ to serve and spread the word of God. It was just a vivid reminder of how much God is there for us. And when we need Him, He is supplying us with what we need, even if we can't see or feel it all the time. I would have never known this trip was going to be so influential to me until God presented me with the opportunity. And it truly was part of His plan all along, because not only did it shape my character, it shaped and solidified my faith in ways that I can't explain. God is there, and God is the way through it all. And sometimes we just have to be there and put full faith in Him and His plans, because at the end of the day, He shapes everything that goes on in our life, our memories, our stories, and even us. I hope we can all go as God's children and continue our stories and build in our faith as we continue living out His plans for us. Thank you.